Back with me now, American Conservative Union Chairman Matt Schlapp. I'm also joined by the former spokesperson for the President George W. Bush administration, White House, and all, Fox News contributor. And oh, by the way, Matt gets to hang out with Mercedes because she decided to marry him. And here they are. Great to have you both back.
Hi, Lou.
And congratulations to you both. You both, I've got to give Blaise Ingoglia, the head of the Republican Party in Florida, great credit for making the call he did. You guys were on top of Florida last night and had the, what would you call it, the Rosetta Stone to what was going to happen there. So congratulations to you on that.
Lou, apparently the Schlapps are going to be spending every election night with you from now on.
Well, that's wonderful. You got a deal. It worked out pretty well, didn't it? And as we look at what's going on with Donald Trump, I mean, he looks like he was born to the role that he is now in. That is, president-elect on his way to leading the free world. I mean, it's been a seamless change of circumstance over 24 hours, at least in my perception. Your thought, Matt?
Yeah, you know, I was informed today that I'm officially not going to be called a Trump surrogate, and I thought that was awesome because you know what that means?
I have no idea.
It means, well, it could mean I did a bad job. It could also mean that they're ready for governing, and it's time to talk about how we populate these important roles and advisors around them, and this is money time.
You know, that's a critical phase, as you know, because in the George W. Bush administration, you played a prominent role there. And Mercedes, your thoughts?
Well, I have to tell you, what's been interesting to watch have been the establishment Republicans, Romney, Jeb Bush, George W. Bush, coming out and in essence basically respecting what has happened and noting Donald Trump's victory. And I think that's very telling because I think that it shows that we are moving in a direction where we know we need to have this smooth transition. We saw Hillary Clinton, I think, gave a very gracious speech today. And I think it just shows that at this point it is time for the country to heal, to come together, and it will take time, but it does allow Donald Trump to move forward and work with Congress and, as Matt said, govern. I mean, there is a lot of issues on the table that he's going to be able to push forward because of the fact that we've got a united government. You know,
as a matter of issue here, you know, setting up the transition, and I have been able to report on transition since actually Clinton's in 1992, at which he pulled off an amazing transition, speaking just to that issue of his presidency. It is so important to put the right people in the right place who can translate the president's values, his promises, and his perspectives on the country and the way forward. Some are arguing that will be more difficult for him because he is an outsider, because he is anti-establishment. What do you think, Matt?
Well, Reagan did this in 1980, and he brought in a lot of new people to the system. And I would urge, look, I oversaw the appointment process in many ways in the beginning of the Bush White House in 2001, and it is critical that you bring in new people. I've learned lessons from that, and I've relayed them, by the way, just so you know. And I think it's important that you bring in new people. And the most important thing is you get a hold of these bureaucracies immediately. Right after you put your hand on the Bible, you've got to have your people in these agencies because they will be up to pernicious deeds within the first couple of days.
The Justice Department, that is a department that needs to be, I mean, it absolutely, you talk about a swamp that needs draining. That's one has to be drained forthwith. Do you not agree, Mercedes?
Oh, absolutely. And Matt and I were talking earlier about the Attorney General and the importance of ensuring that we have a conservative Attorney General because of the role that the Attorney General played with the judges and obviously their role just moving forward with the Department of Justice. So it's going to be interesting to see who Donald Trump picks. Would it could be a Senator Sessions, and I think that's the one pick we will be looking at very closely.
Yeah, and they've got to go a lot deeper than, well past the assistant attorneys general to get that place cleaned up. And I appreciate the nod there, Matt. You get the last word in 15 seconds.
The one thing I'm a little bit worried is they got to make sure that as they make these picks for these cabinet secretaries, that it's well vetted with Senator Sessions and others who know who can get through the Senate. You don't want to slip up early on by picking somebody who is not going to get confirmed. So I think that's the next step they got to start working on.
All right. Well, Donald Trump has got some wonderful people working with him and soon for him. This ought to be a great adventure. Well, in democracy, and I can't wait for one. I know you can't either. Matt, Mercedes, thank you both so much. Appreciate it.